Here's to quitting. Quitting the couch for a quick run. Quitting the snooze button for a morning workout. Quitting giving up after 2 weeks. You see, staying committed to your fitness goals isn't easy. But with Apple Watch, you don't have to do it alone. Because Apple Watch gives you real-time motivation, plus advanced metrics that track all your workouts, so you can stick to your New Year's fitness resolutions. And once and for all, quit quitting with Apple Watch. iPhone 11 or later required.
Hey, it's Brooklyn Adams, and I'm partnering with Abercrombie to tell you about the newest drop from their active brand, Your Personal Best. YPB leggings are made with buttery soft fabrics that hug you in all the right places and come in Abercrombie's viral Curve Love fit, designed to eliminate waist gap. Paired with sports bras and super soft sweatshirts, it's activewear that supports every part of my busy lifestyle and gives me my best butt ever. Head into the new year feeling your personal best. Shop Active by Abercrombie in the app, online, and in stores.
Oh, it's such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Visit Blinds.com now for up to 45% off with minimum purchase plus a free professional measure. Rules and restrictions apply.
Welcome everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Happy everything. Am I right? So this is not a normal episode. We are actually continuing on with the tradition because we got such good feedback from it the last time we did it. And I did want to give our listener, Eric.
Oh, yes.
I wanted to give Eric a shout out because the Petty Award show that we did last year was their idea, and it was so much fun and a lot more complicated last time because we went through 4 years worth of material. And Trevin said, why don't we just try doing this like as an annual thing to wrap up the year? And I loved that. And that's what we're doing today.
Yeah. And then maybe it can be like other awards like Oscars and stuff where we can do like bicentennial ones or special ones or something. But yeah, this is a way we can do it every year looking back. And that will also force us to keep our data together at the end of every year.
Yes. I think we're both nostalgic queens. We love looking back, and honestly, sometimes I feel like our work deserves a second glance, you know?
Oh, I hope it deserves a second glance with the amount of time I put into it. But not only just nostalgia, but like I feel like I'm giving myself a gift by doing this show in some ways, because not only is it me making this art that I'm excited about and hoping people hear it, but for me, this is like a journal of my life that I'll have forever. Like if you and I just say we're done and we don't want to do this anymore, I'll always have like 5 years of my life to where it's like, I'll know how I was doing almost weekly. And that's going to be really cool, because when you and I were looking back to get ready for this year, I thought, holy shit, all this happened this year?
Right.
Some of that felt like a lifetime ago, but
it feels that way.
2025, I felt like I lived a few lives.
Yes, for sure. My God. We definitely had some fun categories this year. Some of them were similar to the last Petty Award show. Some of them are new. So definitely let us know what you think of the categories this time. But before we jump into all of that, we can't start our episode without sharing some dreadful dilemmas, you guys.
For real. We weren't even going to do dilemmas originally, but you and I actually haven't seen each other for a whole year. But you and I haven't seen each other hardly at all because, and this episode is coming late and into the year when it shouldn't have been, because you got really sick. Emily got sick. Your whole entire family got sick.
Yeah.
I am experiencing something sinusy, but hardly gotten sick compared to what you guys have gotten.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've seen each other. We have some catching up to do, and I thought, well, I've got a lot of dilemmas since then that I don't think I'll be caring to talk about into the new year.
I know. Let us bitch a little.
Yeah, so we're going to do it.
So, Trevin, will you do the honors and tell us your dreadful dilemma this week?
My dreadful dilemma this week actually had to do with the day of December 25th, Christmas, the holiday, whatever you want to call it. We were at my family's house. We took Sammy, my lovely Mama Sam.
Oh.
She's done so great. This is your first time seeing her in a while, so you've probably really seen the transformation.
My God, you guys, when I tell you, she does not look like the same dog that I first met when you first rescued her. Like, day and night, she's slimmed down. You can see her actual body frame.
Yeah, she's not just like a big puffy box.
Yeah, the energy level. I mean, when I first met her, I was like, she's as old as my dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And now she actually is acting her age. It's so good to see.
Yeah, she's only 5 years old. I remember like the first time I sent a video of her to Molly, she goes, "Oh, that dog's down bad." She just looked like Eeyore, just
Yes.
So she's a shorter Sheltie like Mabel was. She was 34 pounds. They said she was about 10 pounds overweight. We had already gotten her down 2 on her own, but then we found out that she had hypothyroidism.
Same girl, same.
Got her on some medication, and I said it when we first got her that I'm going to help her feel confident for summer.
Yes.
And it seems like things are working that way because now that she's got the hypothyroid pill, it has boosted her demeanor so much. She's excited. She used to kind of play with October, and then she would get rolled over and it would be kind of pathetic, and we'd be like, "Oh, hold on, like don't play too much more with her. She's kind of just like a sausage on her back." But like she's the one who's like always wanting to play now, and October's like, "Dude, I've had enough."
Yeah.
I will say that Sammy plays a little dirty just because she's the shorter dog and she used to have the disadvantage. We haven't really told her how to play fairly now that she's a quicker dog.
I've seen the videos where she's tugging at October's tail.
Yeah.
Like a tug of war. Poor October.
Yeah, when I play with October, she always knows that the porch is the safe zone. So if we're playing chase with each other, she goes on the porch. I'm like, "No, that's okay. I won't do anything."
Aww.
She will play with Sam and go up on the porch, and Sam will go up on the porch and keep tugging on her tail. And I can just see it in her eyes where she's like, "Doesn't she get it? Like, this isn't where this
is the safe zone." Hello. They need to come up with a safe word.
They do. So we took them to my parents. Every year for Christmas Eve, we stay the night with my parents. I probably told this before. This was our first year without Mabel doing this, which honestly was pretty hard that day. I was thinking a lot, especially how the rest of the story goes. But Sammy, when we went, she has an issue where she doesn't like to be on a leash, and she has kind of potty issues anyway, which I hear isn't a thing for thyroid dogs anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever seen her pee on a leash when being held by a leash.
Interesting.
And she was with us at my parents' house for like really long time. And I thought, this girl needs to go to the bathroom. Like, come on, she's going to burst. And she's very stubborn. She still didn't go to the bathroom that whole night. We stayed outside longer, like way too long, waiting for her to pee. And I felt like, well, we're missing our festivities a little bit.
Yeah.
I said, if she doesn't pee again, tomorrow we'll put her on one of my mom's dog's cables. And because she likes being outside so much.
Yeah.
She never peed. We hung out outside for a long time. And I said, we can't miss any more Christmas. We put her on a cable. She was fine. She tugged once and then just sat there and was like stubborn, not going to do anything. Checked on the window multiple times, never moved. Got caught in one conversation, came back again, and she was gone.
Oh my God.
Because she's been losing weight, she was able to slip out of that thing.
Oh no.
And when we were kind of testing her because she doesn't like being on the leash, we were like, let's just let her wander and see what happens. There was never a direction that she kept fancying. It was just like kind of sporadic. So I never really had an idea where she might go. I had immediately gotten like a Mabel trigger because I heard a car coming down the road. And don't worry, guys, this isn't going to be sad. The car came and went, no big deal. But we actually couldn't find her. We ran all over the place, and I ran about 3.5 miles. It was Christmas morning. I had woke up. All I had was like a cinnamon roll and Bailey's and coffee.
Hell yeah.
I was wearing, my mom got us all matching pajamas, and I humored her by wearing the matching bottoms, which were Christmas lights all over them. So I'm wearing a Batman shirt and Christmas light pants on Christmas morning, and I'm running up and down the street of my parents' gravel road calling for a dog.
Oh my God.
It took us over an hour, but we ended up finding her. She went to the place where my sister got married, which is interesting. My sister got married not very far from our house.
How far away is that event space from your parents? Like, how far did she travel? Like a mile, are we talking?
Not even that.
Okay.
Not even a quarter mile.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. And honestly, that's the opposite of the direction I went. But that just seemed like the more enticing direction. What do I know? But anyway, we were all very scared. Emily was crying by the time we had gotten to her. It was pretty emotional. I was drained by the time. Like, nobody expects to wake up Christmas morning and run 3.5 miles.
No sane person would ever.
We hadn't even opened presents yet. That was my Christmas, and it ended up being a fine day, but I was pretty much just out of it for the rest of the day after that.
Yeah.
I didn't do too much, so glad I wasn't sick at least.
Oh, God. I'm glad you weren't either, because you could not have run that 3 miles if you had this illness. Oh, my God.
Oh my God, if I couldn't find my dog and I was sick like that, no.
No. Oh, my God. Well, I'm so glad she's okay. I'm so glad that she honestly is just doing so well in general. I'm sure that was very triggering for both of you to see that she wasn't there. And I'm just so sorry that happened. But luckily, she was just wandering around.
Yeah, just wandering around, doing her own thing. But it seems like we've actually grown stronger since then. So maybe she would be on a leash for us now.
I would certainly hope so.
It felt like a milestone to me.
Well, I also have a dreadful dilemma. And yeah, it's going to be talking about my sickness, guys, because I need some answers. I need to know, did anyone else have this sickness? And did it hit you and wipe your whole family out like it did for me? Please let me know. So, pretty sure my oldest daughter got it from school or something, because she was the one who it hit first. I was actually the last one in the family that it hit. And I'm fully convinced that it should have hit me sooner, but I was just so damn determined to fight it off until Christmas was done.
We talk about that. The moms, and when they need to make a Christmas miracle, they put it all in. They make it happen.
Yeah, it was like I used my mind power and I was just like, fuck no, wait one more day. I don't know what it was, but it hit me the last. You guys, the symptoms were off the chart. It was fever, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, cold sweats, muscle aches, headache, coughing, which the cough is still lingering in my chest. Like, it's just not going away. It's been days since I've had any of those other symptoms. I also had a rash all over my face and all over my chest.
Oh, dang. Did you get a COVID test?
I didn't want to leave at all. I didn't want to do a damn thing.
I didn't realize you had the rash. I remember when my mom had COVID really bad, she said she had got a rash from it.
Okay.
When my whole family got it, she was the one out of the whole family that had a rash during that time.
Yeah, it was like my skin turned really red and like had purpley splotches all over it. And then it kind of had like hives on top of that. It was very odd. But anyway, it took us all out. I started feeling it on Christmas Day. And then just after that, it was just relentless.
Sick on Christmas is the worst.
It's the worst. Like, if I was trying to see the positive in this, it was that we didn't really have to take much time off work or time out of school. But it's like, God damn, this was supposed to be like our fun time.
Yeah. In a way that's still you losing. It's just like, oh, it helped our jobs out.
I know. Like, fuck them. I can take a day. Both of my kiddos are doing a lot better now. But yeah, me and Jordan, we still have this lingering cough. It sucks. It really, really sucks.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of people got it. A-line from our team.
Yes.
I think she said her whole family had it, and I had reached out to her because I had went through a burnout of my own during this time trying to get that Christmas episode out, and she was like, I haven't forgot about you, I'm sick. And I was like, I haven't forgot about you, I'm burnt out.
Yeah.
I'm dramatic.
I'm not sick, but I'm pretty much sick. Let's get real.
She was out sick 2 days before you had gotten sick. My boss, I was just hanging out with her at a work thing, and then she called out sick because she had been puking for like a day and a half straight.
Yep.
So I've seen it happening around.
Yeah.
And Emily came home sick. She only puked for 1 day.
I know. That's crazy. I'm wondering if that was like food poisoning or
maybe just a 24-hour bug. I don't know.
This thing destroyed us from the inside out. I had to cancel 3 play dates. We had to cancel my family's Christmas together because my parents were going on a vacation and I didn't want to get them sick right before they left.
Right.
I even like posted this horrible photo of me on the couch with like my head in a towel because the only time I felt good is when I was in the shower or asleep. Anything else, I was a miserable human being. But I was like, is anyone else on their deathbed? Because I'm sorry, I didn't want you guys on your deathbed, but I also didn't want to feel alone with this.
Yeah, I get that.
But we're doing better. We're up and around. Each day is a little improvement, but please tell me if you guys had this because it was hell.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people probably
did.
It seems that way from what I'm hearing.
Oh, something cute I did want to say too about our Christmas is I got both of my kiddos a Care Bear. And I tagged Care Bear. I posted a story of like their excited little faces, and Care Bear liked it. So I thought that was sweet. So shout out Care Bear. You actually really did help our Christmas, even though we weren't feeling well. Like the magic was still alive and well.
Was it Public Relations Bear?
They do have some really funny ones, though. I can't remember exactly which ones the girls have, but it's a pink one and a purple one.
This podcast is supported by the original organic bedding and bath brand, Koyuchi.
Koyuchi has spent 35 years pioneering quality organic textiles, long before the word organic became, trendy. But words matter to Koyuchi. Words like craftsmanship, longevity, and wellness. So what does the word wellness mean to Koyuchi? It means that all of our products are absolutely free from harsh chemicals and dangerous toxins that can seep into your skin. It means effortless style that looks as good as it feels with naturally breathable, pre-washed organic cotton. And what does all of that mean to you? Well, it means that you can sleep well in Koyuchi's crisp, cool, luxuriously soft sheets that are ethically made and made with you in mind. Live well, sleep well with Koyuchi. Get 15% off your first order when you visit Koyuchi.com. That's Koyuchi.com to get 15% off. Koyuchi.com.
Okay, Trevin, are we ready to begin the Petties?
I think so. I let you take over on this one, so I'm going to be completely surprised. I looked at the nominees and everything once, but so much has happened.
So much has happened. And also this year, Trevin's going to add in some clips of certain things that make sense for the winners. So that'll be fun to listen back on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's just start with our first category. And that is 2025's most dreadful dilemma. And are you ready for the nominees, Trevin?
Yes, the whole year. Like, that's such a hard one to narrow down because a big part for me is like, I don't even want to look back.
I know. So, nominee number 1, Amanda's husband wearing his neon costume sunglasses out in public. Nominee number 2, Trevin's wimpy voice comes out after aggressive deep tissue massage. Just saying that out loud is funny.
Hasn't happened again since.
Thankfully. And nominee number 3, Amanda's alcoholic driver in Sarasota Beach talking about having a threesome with Mama. That one for me is going to live in infamy for the rest of my life.
Yeah, the thing for you is like, it was already kind of an iconic sort of earworm, like, I'd have to ask Mama. But you heard it from God's lips to your ears.
Oh my God. I sure as hell did hear it on repeat with a thick southern drawl.
It's probably so much better like the original, you know?
But
I'll never know.
Wish you guys could have heard this. I really wish. So 2025's most dreadful dilemma with 58% of the votes. Oh, pause here.
Mm-hmm.
I completely forgot to say this. Our patrons on Patreon are the only ones who were able to vote for these. So thank you guys so much. They're basically like our elite group of people who get to vote on the best things of the year. So I really appreciated that.
I want to try to make that like although I'm not a big believer of New Year's resolutions, I do want to, going forward, try to communicate more to you all directly in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you were sick and I posted a little thing, I was just like, hey, sorry, we're not going to have an episode this week because Amanda's sick. But one of our listeners, Sydney, they had basically said it was okay, but we had to send pet pictures to make him feel better. So I was like, okay, I just did a huge photo dump right there. And
yeah, we need to get better at that.
Yeah.
Me for sure as well. So with 58% of the votes, the winner is Amanda's alcoholic driver in Sarasota Beach talking about having a threesome with Mama.
I think she wants to have sex. What did he say? Have sex with me? Did he say sex?
Yeah, he was talking about his wife's best friend and how she was drunk and I was drunk. And when I get home to Mama, it's going to be nasty.
That's right.
he was talking about how he wanted to have a threesome with his wife's best friend, and he kept calling his wife Mama, and it was very awkward. But it made for a really good laugh, and I'm glad that everyone else thought it was as funny as I did.
I didn't have any listeners say yes to liking when their man calls them mama.
Oh, God, no.
But I know it happens.
I thought this would be a fun one if we could find the clip. It's from our summer travel episode. This is the only one I didn't write down the exact episode title.
Oh, it's called Our Summer of Crime. I remember that one.
Okay. So there is a comment underneath and said, oof, I don't remember the last option, but sounds dreadful. We'll have to listen again. Well, you're in luck, Sid Meow, because you're about to hear it again.
Yeah, here's some clip.
So he starts telling us about his wife again and his wife's friend, which maybe I'll give her a pseudonym too. I'll call her Pat.
Okay.
He was like, Pat one night, she told me that she's physically attracted to me. And we were like, what? We were like, is this like, are you guys going to have an affair? Like, is she trying to get with you? Like, what's going on, Ralph? And he was just like, well, I might just have to get a hall pass from Mama.
Oh, a hall pass from Mama?
Trevin, that was another thing we kept saying throughout the trip. I was like, I gotta ask Mama. Maybe I'll get a hall pass. I don't know. You guys, it was absurd. And that was the last time we used him. We then went with their rival taxi cab service after that. And it was a little bit better. No drunken sex talk. So,
did you have to ask for a hall pass from Mama to go to the rival?
I didn't ask for a hall pass. I just went.
Wow.
So it was a very interesting time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just a lot of awkward, drunken, weird Kentucky talk, you know?
Yeah, that sounds like quite a time. And what did you say Pat was? Pat was his what?
His wife's friend.
Oh, his wife's friend. Okay.
We never even learned his wife's name. So I don't need just Mama. I didn't have to give her a pseudonym.
Female listeners, do you like to be called Mama by your lover?
No. The answer's no. Unless you're calling me Mamacita. You can call me Mamacita, but don't say, hey, Mama, can I get a hall pass with Pat?
Yeah.
Fuck no, you can't. Good times for all.
Oh, it's so fun to look back on. Feels like a lifetime ago, that vacation.
I know. I'm actually going back to Florida in July with my family, and we're actually staying somewhere somewhat close-ish by that area again. So if I run into this man, I need all the help I can get.
You should just go seek him out.
Like, how's Mama?
But don't let him meet your mama.
Oh, hell no.
This guy, he's after mamas.
So, Trevin, the next category is specific to you, and it's Trevin's most killer fact. I went through every single episode of the year to come up with these options, and so I hope that you like the ones that I chose, but you're really good at killer facts, my dude.
I know what really gets a rise out of me, and sometimes things I hear just don't interest me, so I try to put what I would like.
Yes.
But I am curious, though, with this, did you literally only do killer facts or just like any fact-based segment?
Just killer facts.
Okay.
Just killer facts. So there weren't a ton of options because, we do trivia, top 5, all the other ones, but this was specifically only killer facts.
Maybe we should do like best shared fact next time. And we
Ooh, yeah.
Because sometimes we have to force something we really want to talk about into like a different format.
That's true. So the nominees for Trevin's most killer fact of 2025. The Bayeux Tapestry, a medieval embroidery, causing us to ask, are those daggers or dongs? From episode 204, Criminal Communities. Second nominee is the epidemic of people eating live frogs to solve health issues. From episode 222, Grief, Deceit, and Raining Meat.
Ooh, that's a real recent one, yeah.
And Captive Chimps and Their Grass Fashion Trends. From episode 211, Viva la Overreaction.
That's a tough one. I was going to say Dong or Dagger wins for sure, but then I forgot about the monkey butts.
I know. And how they put not only grass in their ear, but like grass up their little buttholes for fashion purposes and social standings.
I do find that really interesting because of my heart always just lies in post-production and loving producer stuff. I'm going to go with Dong or Dagger just because I love any time that I can jump into like a quick game show feeling unexpectedly. I like that. So
yes.
I would say that for me.
I think I like either that one or the chimp one the best. But what's so funny is that 50% of the votes went to epidemic of people eating live frogs to solve health issues.
That's a really good fact too.
It is.
And honestly, a lot of people don't know this. That was the only... Oh, I'm glad we get to bring this up, and I'm glad I remembered to bring this up because I told myself this will be funny to talk about in something behind the scenes-y one day.
Yeah.
That episode was the first time we ever had a recording issue, which I know was only just like a month ago or whatever. But we made it 222 episodes without having anything major like, oh, oops, deleted it after we recorded it, never put it out, or blah, blah, blah. Everybody has those stories. Everybody does it. But I have had so much experience in the audio world that I've learned that lesson in other audio projects. So I know not to make that mistake. But on that night...
happened. You're right. You had to tell me that fact twice.
On that night, we recorded it, and
it was the night we were going to go see the live show with our friends, Wine and Crime and Generation Y, right?
Yes. Generation Y, Wine and Crime had a show in Kansas City. Amanda came over. I got off work early. We made the time to do it, but I got tripped up because the weirdest glitch happened with our camera. And
yes, it was like... The camera was right in front of Trevin, but for some reason, it was like it was towering over him. It was like glitching out so bizarrely, and it threw everything off. And then, we ended up not recording the whole beginning of the episode and having to re-record.
I was so like thrown off of my like normal way of doing things because Amanda just watched me. I was taking the camera and raising it up more and more until I was center of the screen from what I was seeing. And Amanda is looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And the thing was like 7 feet up while I'm sitting on a couch.
You guys, I was genuinely concerned for his well-being. I was like, did he get into a bad batch of gummies? What the hell? He had it so high above him. And I was like, are you okay?
I had to make her come sit on the couch in front of the camera and say, like, see what I mean? Look over on the monitor.
Yeah.
It ended up just being that the program was glitching because once I closed it and opened it back up, everything was fine.
Yeah.
But instead, I decided to try to fuck with it forever. After we had done that, I forgot to hit record on one of the mics and one of the cameras. And so you and I had made it through dilemmas and one segment, and then I looked over and I was like, oh no.
And it was the frog one.
It was the frog one, yeah, because you gagged the first time I told it.
Yeah.
Which I think would have made it an even more like memorable thing, because that was the thing that made me the most sad was after you were like, I can't believe you're telling me this or whatever. And I was like, hell yeah, I got that on the camera. And I looked over and saw only one of them were lit up. And I thought, fuck.
It happens to the best of us, Trevin.
Yeah. So that was the only time we've had to re-record something for each other. I mean, I heard plenty of people where the whole thing is just a conversation of like telling a crime story or something. Like, oh yeah, we had to tell the whole story to each other again.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
Knock on wood, I do not want us to ever have to do that. Could you imagine?
And I have such an issue with repeating myself because like my ADHD just drives me crazy. I have to repeat myself.
Yeah.
So when we were going through it, I was like, well, this is my B-side conversation. I don't want to have the same conversation with you. So I just asked you something else I was thinking about it. So we were able to still like make it feel fresh. The only thing I couldn't get was your first reaction to those frogs.
I know. I know. I have some pretty outlandish reactions, people.
But I felt bad for a while after that. So fun fact behind the scenes for you all.
That was a good BTS, Trevin. Thank you. Okay. We are on to Amanda's most killer fact. And so I gave 3 options as well for this. The first nominee is The Curse of the Hope Diamond from episode 207, America is Burning. The Bloop Mystery from 1997, an ultra-low frequency sound from episode 211, Viva La Overreaction. And The final nominee is the Kentucky Meat Shower of 1876 from episode 222, Grief, Deceit, and Raining Meat.
That was a really good fact week, that last one.
I know. Honest to God. And what a funny ass title, too.
Thanks.
Grief, Deceit, and Raining Meat. Like, can it get any better than that? This one actually has a pretty distinct, clear-cut winner. What do you think the people voted for, Trevin?
The bloop was fun because I liked that we had the audio of it. And then you and I were both like, where is this thing? And then we were both kind of surprised by it. Even though I had heard of the Raining Meat and knew that actually, and That's Why We Drink, I think covered it just like the year before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I think they did a bigger thing on it. I was still aware of it being a thing, that it was still a very fun and good conversation. So I think it's going to have to be that. I think it's a timeless tale, no matter how many times you heard it.
Yes, and you are right. With 58% of the votes, Kentucky Meat Shower of 1876.
Is that like the Podcaster's Christmas Carol? Is it just like fun no matter what version you're getting? It's just you want it every time?
I don't. Maybe.
The Muppets Meat Shower. I would watch that.
Same. I do remember this was just such a funny, when we do Killer Facts, I love talking about like weird historical events. We both do, but mine are usually really fucking dumb like this. And if you remember, when I told this fact, there were people like eating the meat and doing all this weird shit with it. And then it turned out, I think the hypothesis that got the most votes on for what they thought caused the meat shower was that it was like vultures puking up like their prey or something.
It was when they're like scared or startled or they feel that they need to survive and get away from something quicker, they will like quickly throw up because it makes them lighter so that they can be quicker and evading.
Yeah. I'm sorry, that still doesn't make sense to me.
I'm with you on that, honestly.
Yeah, like even though that's a thing, and I'm sure that happens all the time, I just don't see how that many vultures at the same time would have done this. I mean, this is like a documented event.
Yes.
It's not just like one vulture puking its guts up. That would have been a lot at the same time.
And you'd think there would be some sort of a conservational type person that's just like, oh, this happens all the time. I see these all over the floor. This is normal. Or all over the ground. This is normal. But It's like, this was such a huge amount. And, it's not something that the common person just knows about.
Definitely not.
I even questioned it too. How do you get that much at one time? Unless it was like a pterodactyl size vulture, which in that case, that should be a documented event. Like, look up, lady.
Look up or
look
don't.
Up. It's raining me. Yeah. Get a really strong umbrella.
But no, that's a classic killer fact. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed that one.
Yeah, that was a really fun one.
Okay, so this is something that honestly, I think we've had this type of criminal every single year since we've started the show. So I wanted to have a category.
Naked.
That was 2025's Best Naked Criminal. Now, I know I just said that we have lots of stories from the past with naked criminals, but when I was going through just this year specifically, there weren't as many.
Yeah.
We need to get back to our naked roots.
That's true. It wasn't a very strong naked year.
Yeah.
I mean, we had the man with his chicken.
Yep.
I mean, I guess that's like not fully nude, but I think that still counts. Definitely not a strong naked year. Maybe we'll get him back this year.
I know.
I was thinking about our brand of humor a while back and like how I think Sarah Silverman is one of my biggest inspirations for comedy. And she makes a lot of body humor. And like you and I are always so big on just like big old butts, knockers, dong, dong. We just are always like that. And other people are like that. Like I notice Wine and Crime makes a lot of body humor jokes. But I can see a lot of people that don't go near it. And then it's funny that it's even part of my humor. But I was just thinking about that more. And that is sort of like nude criminals really brought that out of us.
Yes.
Which was so early in, which is probably why it became so much of our style. But yeah, the naked man on the four-wheeler started it. And then we just had so much fun talking about balls.
Balls and dongs and butt cheeks flapping in the breeze.
That we were immediately just like, oh, did we just make a lot of body humor? I think without saying it, we just did it.
We've had so many good ones over the years. Like Of course, that was like the OG. I remember I did the Planet Fitness one where the guy was naked.
Tawny Peaks.
Tawny Peaks at the strip club. You had the guy dip his balls into someone's salsa.
Yep, the dude with the making love with the syrup and jam, everybody's favorite.
My God. So this year, I will keep a mental note that I need to get back to the nudity of it all.
Yeah.
Because, there really weren't that many. So
if anybody wants to commit a viral crime,
naked,
help get me future content.
Please.
I'm not telling you to do it, but if it happened.
And I am telling you to. Funny enough, Trevin, 2 of the nominees are from the exact same episode. Ooh. So we just had a wild ass episode this time, apparently.
One of those times where we're on the same wavelength and it happened to be naked wavelength.
Exactly. The first nominee, skinny dipping couple Zachary Tomko and Holly O'Neill, caught naked mid-wedding reception from episode 208, ADHD's Nuts.
Oh, that is right. The ADHD episode. And I was able to tie it in with both of them talked about balls.
Yes. If you remember, that story of mine started like at an apple orchard, and it was like very juicy and sexy. And I really went for it on that one. Now, from the exact same episode, your story,
Xinjiang?
Xinjiang, yeah.
Yeah, let's go with that.
60-year-old exposes himself in the sauna at a country club. Also from episode 208, ADHD's Nuts.
With his little chicken.
I still can't get over that. Him calling it his chicken.
When I very first read the headline of that, I just heard it in my head, and I want to see a courtroom movie where a guy is just,
I was just so worried about my chicken, and I was just like, get up, little guy.
And I imagine that in a movie, and so I have to make a story that like leads to this somehow. But that was the first thought when I read that. I was like, this guy had to tell people.
I am unwell. He could have used any other animal, and I don't think it would have disturbed me as much as the chicken. Now, the third nominee is Amanda's personal, petty, and public peeing story in the college flower beds. Now, I wasn't fully naked, but because we didn't do very many, that was the third option. Mm-hmm. And that's from episode 218, A Backdrop of Bros. And Trevin, we have a tie.
Between both of our maybe only nude people?
Yes, 42%. 42% is your 60-year-old in the sauna, and 17% goes to my public urination stories. So they're tied.
It's sad that it only comes down to 2 and it's the only 2. I'll take it.
I'll take it.
And they're from the same episode, too.
From the same episode, and it's really the only nude criminals we did. What has this world come to?
It was not a very sexy year. And I think it's bold of me to say it now, but 2025 was not sexy.
Very anti-sexy. I'll give it to both of them. There was a comment on Patreon from Sydney also saying, I don't know if Xinjiang is the best naked criminal. It's the most horrifying story, though, for sure. Also, Amanda's reactions are gold.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it there. But thank you for the comment.
Imagine if today was the day your idea changed someone's life. Imagine if you could help someone pay for college, help your community build a new playground, or help a child make it to that dream competition. With GoFundMe, it's all possible. GoFundMe is the world's #1 fundraising platform trusted by over 190 million people. Every week, ordinary people meet their goals and do extraordinary things. Your ideas matter. GoFundMe isn't just for emergencies. Want to raise money for your kid's soccer team or raise funds for a small business, a creative project, or event? GoFundMe helps you turn ideas into reality. And help adds up. Fundraisers you start for someone else raise up to 5 times more. So think right now, who could use your help? Change rarely comes from waiting. It comes from someone deciding, today I'll start. Don't wait for someone else to bring change. Today, start your fundraiser in just minutes at GoFundMe.com. That's GoFundMe.com to start your fundraiser. GoFundMe.com. This is a commercial message brought to you by GoFundMe.
We have made it actually halfway through our awards.
And this is only part 1?
This is part 1, you guys. We have a part 2 coming, but don't worry, it's not over quite yet. Trevin had a really great idea to still give a fully finished and produced and edited story for each of these episodes. So he tasked us with the very difficult challenge, I might add, of selecting our favorite story each from 2025. And we're going to listen back to it together and then talk about it.
Yeah, we'll have a whole new revisiting of the conversation. And there have been so many this year that I know it's been a lighter year for stories. We've made less, which, 5 years in, and the success hasn't kept us going as much with getting the help with all that. But
yeah,
there was just so many good stories that said so many different things for us and so many things for me. I feel like the guy faking his own death would probably be my favorite one, but it's just so recent. It's probably because I think I've always wanted to do a story like that. And trying to write something like that felt maybe a little too like adult or too like dramatic for me. But because I had experienced what I experienced, it just made it available. And now it's like, you know what? I think as a writer, I could do a really dark drama that's like this.
Totally.
And not have it be silly. But there are some really good ones too. I mean, like our friend Shay from Rainy Day Rabbit Holes, her listener story was at the beginning of this year, which I thought that was in 24. I was wrong. Or in 25. I almost said Mr. Chicken as my favorite. I would have loved the Lord of the Green.
Oh, yes.
But you know what? I was so upset that so many people didn't get the references. But I think for my favorite one, if I didn't do that one because of recency bias, I think I'm going to go for episode 198, Weird Women on the Loose.
Love that title.
The story, A Canine Appetite. This was the story about the woman who dug out the dead man's toes from the vet.
Oh my God. I forgot about that one.
You were actually on the month of Wine and Crime where they talked about that as a viral crime, and you were like, oh, hey, we just talked about this.
Yes. Oh my God. You had some really like body horror type stories this year, didn't you?
Yeah, and that one for me was one that I really liked because I got the challenge of having to write a dead body being found in the beginning of a story without trying to make it feel sad or, I'm trying not to make it about death that much.
Right.
I had to do that twice this year because of the guy faking his death.
Yeah.
And it's been fun getting to play with that line because I'm never going to do a story of, we did like the murder story we did was like the dog murdering the birds or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a really fun challenge for me. And I remembered writing it and trying to be as like descriptive and real as possible, but still knowing that I had to come back to a joke.
Yeah.
And you also just got to play Weird Joanna.
Oh my God.
The bad antagonist of this story. And I just loved giving you the ability to play that character.
Oh my God. So we get to listen back to this now.
Yes, we're going to listen to it now, same time as you guys. I'll cut the conversation from the other episodes, then we'll just revisit and talk about it again. And enjoy A Canine Appetite from episode 198. Dogs are the ultimate companion for man. They're eager to please, can't talk, and don't possess thumbs, making escape that much harder. You feed them, and for that, you're granted with loyalty, comfort during the hard times, and an unlimited amount of very expressive side eyes that make your heart melt. But as much love as we feel for them, let us not forget the disgusting little goblins they truly are. Their loose facial skin moves freely between our fingers as we cover their little heads in kisses. In return, they kiss us back with the same tongue that just performed a self-administered colonoscopy 5 minutes earlier. Their breath exists on a scale somewhere between canned farts and porta potty soup. Yet, we share a bed with them.
Breathe in my face, you rancid beast.
Mabel has a habit of helping me clean up with the cat's vomit. Something I'd be lying if I said I didn't appreciate on particularly lazy days.
Good girl.
My parents' dog once tore a freshly murdered chicken to pieces right in front of us on Christmas morning. And I've never met a country dog that didn't think a cesspool bath was the height of luxury. They're gross. Garbage, spilled flour, a brick of weed, a live skunk. If it fits in their mouth, it's fair game. Hungry, full, or just feeling chaotic, they'll eat anything. And as their guardian, It's your job to clean up the mess, accept those death-scented kisses, and remind yourself that this is love. Because no matter how disgusting they get, nothing outweighs the good they bring to your life. But what happens when a dog's natural nastiness collides with the twisted mind of a petty criminal? Well, that's when things go from disgusting to downright indigestible. If you choose to continue, just know, this story won't taste the same going down as it does coming up. Knocks rang out through the quiet house at the corner of 7th and Elm. From inside, dogs barked, their nails clicking against the hardwood as they scrambled toward the door.
Sounds like a couple of good boys are home at least.
One officer joked to his partner. Sergeant Ham shot him a look. "Don't let the puppy noise fool you, pork chop," he said, raising a fist to the door. "Something's off." He pounded 3 more times, each knock heavier than the last. "Melbourne Police, this is a wellness check." The dogs continued wrestling behind the door, their whines cutting through the silence.
I want to pet those dogs so bad.
Deputy Pork Chop blurted, still focused on the sounds from inside. Sergeant Ham sighed. "The family says they haven't heard from the homeowner in weeks. Elderly guy. This isn't looking good." He checked his watch. "One way or another, you're going to meet those dogs today." 5 long minutes passed. Sergeant Ham knocked periodically, but the only response came from the dogs inside. Finally he sighed. "I'm calling it." With a flick of his special police skeleton key, he unlocked the door. As soon as it swung open, 2 brown dogs rushed out, circling the deputy in a frenzy of happy dances and tail wags.
Puppies!
Pork Chop shouted, dropping to one knee and making kissy noises. Sergeant Ham stepped inside, leaving the bright Melbourne sun behind. The house was dark and still, but one thing hit him immediately: the smell. It was like a dog shit factory ramping up for its busiest season. But beneath that, something worse, a scent only cops and coroners knew. Moving down the hallway, he peered into the first bedroom. There on the bed lay the homeowner's lifeless body, a textbook case of natural causes. The decomposition matched the timeline from the wellness check report. Ham took a glance around, noting key details of the grim scene. With a quiet sigh and a respectful nod, he backed out of the room and returned to the front.
Who's a cute little poochie? You want to lick me? I want to lick you.
As Ham reached the doorway, the contrast hit him again. Behind him, a scene of death. Outside, sunshine and puppy kisses. "Pork Chop, let's act a little more professional," Ham said, his voice softer now, easing his partner toward the reality of the situation.
Come on, Sarge.
Pork Chop grinned.
I'm like the spaghetti noodle between Lady and the Tramp. They love me.
Ham watched the grown man in uniform, completely lost in affection of 2 dogs starved for attention. He took a deep breath. "For God's sake, deputy, they ate part of their owner." Minutes later, the 2 dogs were riding with their heads hanging out the cop car windows, tongues flapping in the wind. Deputy Pork Chop rode shotgun, aggressively scrubbing his face with a disinfectant wipe. "Okay, thanks, Doc. Keep us updated. Bye," Sergeant Ham said, setting his phone down in the cup holder.
You swear it was just part of the foot?
Pork Chop asked, waiting his turn to speak. "Yes, that was the coroner. He just got to the house and confirmed, just part of 1 foot. After we drop these 2 off at the shelter for assessment, we can swing back by and you can see for yourself." Sergeant Ham watched the dogs in the rearview mirror, blissful to the circumstances of their ride. "I think it's kind of beautiful, you know? If I died, I'd be okay if Timmy Whisker Tits ate part of me to stay alive until I was found. He's a good-ass cat. And if he was the last thing I saw in my final moments, I'd die grateful." Deputy Pork Chop pulled out a fresh wipe, staring ahead, contemplating life, death, and his own hygiene. The 2 officers and their furry little captives stepped into the city shelter, the scent of antiseptic and kibble filling the air.
How may I help you, officers?
A cheery young worker behind the counter asked. Sergeant Ham gestured towards the dogs. "We've got a couple of pups here that were left in a house with a deceased for at least a week. Can you do an assessment and get them some proper nutrients?" Before the worker could respond, the sound of wheels rolling across the tile cut through the room. A middle-aged woman in an expensive designer sweater propelled herself forward in the office chair, making a grand entrance.
Did somebody say deceased?
She asked, lips curling into a smile that seemed just a little too wide.
Oh, how wonderful. Death brings such beautiful mysteries, doesn't it? Yeah, they even ate a little bit of their owner.
Deputy Pork Chop added.
That's what Mama likes. Stacy, clear all my appointments. I'll take it from here.
She stood, leaving her chair stranded in the middle of the room, and extended a hand toward the officers. Her designer sweater, though well-maintained, had just enough odd accessories to suggest she spent her free time in haunted antique shops.
I'll take those horror hounds off your hands, gentlemen,
she said.
They called me Weird Joanna, and I'll be handling this very macabre request for you.
The officers draped the leashes over her palm with a curt nod. We don't have time for introductions, ma'am. Just take care of the dogs. Alone in her office, Weird Joanna began the intake process. She tugged the nearest dog's collar, tilting his face toward her to read his name tag.
Rufus, my darling, you've brushed up against the very edges of mortality. The line between life and death is so thin, isn't it? To survive, to witness the end, to become part of that journey. It's a gift most never get. But you, sweet boy, you've seen it, tasted it even. How deliciously morbid to be so close to the forbidden fruit.
Rufus panted, his vacant stare locked onto her pen, fighting the primal urge to chew on it. Joanna turned, admiring her carefully curated collection of oddities on the shelf. Alligator's claws, bird skulls, bones of multiple origins, all proudly displayed.
I wonder, darling, will I end up in a jar too? No one can escape death, but I can keep a piece of it forever. These bones, this fur, there's more life in them now than ever before.
With her face pressed against a container of murky liquid, she gazed into the unknown, her eyes magnified to the dogs before her.
There's something so alive about the dead, don't you think?
Rufus inched closer to the pen, unconcerned with existential musings. But before Joanna could continue her brooding monologue, the second dog stiffened, his body language shifting. He retched, then lurched forward, frantically searching for an escape.
What's wrong with you?
Joanna gasped, placing a hand on him just as he vomited all over the office floor.
Oh, God!
Weird Joanna shrieked as Stacy barged into the room.
What's going on, Weird Joe? Whoa, that's a lot of puke!
Without hesitation, Stacy grabbed the cleaning supplies and got to work. Disgusting squelches filled the room as she mopped up the mess until her hands froze mid-wipe. Her face twisted in horror.
What is this? Toes?
Weird Joanna swayed against the counter, suddenly weak in the knees from the grisly discovery. Then, regaining her composure, she waved a dismissive hand.
Oh, you know how dogs are,
she said, forcing a casual chuckle.
Probably belongs to a weasel or something. Just get it in the trash, quick.
For the next couple of hours, Weird Joanna sat in her chair, her gaze locked on the dogs. She couldn't shake the dark energy in the room, knowing that just feet away lay the toes of a dead man, an irresistible keepsake for any weirdo. She had a whole network of bone buddies in her online community who would pay top dollar for some human toes. But getting her hands on them wouldn't be easy. The shelter was crawling with cameras, and Stacy wasn't the type to forget something as bizarre as toes hiding in a puddle of puke. But as she stood there, contemplating her next move, her prayers were answered.
Weird Joanna! I just found out that my boyfriend's been cheating on me, and now I have to decide if my extra cruise ticket goes to my best friend for a girls' trip, or if I should ask the cute guy at the froyo place. I hate making decisions!
An evil smirk curled around Weird Joanna's face, her expression growing wide and sinister, like the Grinch just before he stole Christmas.
There, girl,
she said, forcing the sweetest tone she could muster.
Go handle your mortal dilemmas. I'll look up by myself. Don't even worry about the trash. I can do all the chores. Bye.
As soon as Stacy's car disappeared down the road, Weird Joanna wasted no time. She dove straight into the dog shelter's general waste bucket, elbow deep in a treasure hunt of her own. From poop bags to bloody bandages, she sifted through the filth until...
Eureka!
She shouted, yanking her hand from the mess.
What have we here? 2 perfect little toes. What a divine offering. Treasures plucked from the very fabric of death itself. I will appreciate you, little toes.
With a delighted grin, Weird Joanna scrubbed the amputated digits clean, her excitement growing with every moment. Carefully, she transported her prize back to her home, where her collection of taxidermy tools awaited. She pulled out her favorite brand of formaldehyde and an empty glass jar, eager to preserve her find. Once the toes were safely submerged in the preserving liquid, she knew she'd sleep soundly, eagerly awaiting tomorrow. The next morning, Weird Joanna woke up 2 toes richer and with a new pep in her step. She made her famous silver dollar pancakes and even called her oldest daughter to catch up.
Hey, Weird Joanna.
I forgot even my kids call me that. Hey, I just wanted to call my oldest of 5 children to see how they're doing.
Actually, things have been pretty tough.
That's awesome. Well, Mama just came across 2 human toes and some dog's vomit. I've been doing some research, and I think I can sell them for $400.
Oh, that's great.
Well, it was good catching up. Bye.
Weird Joanna hung up with a satisfied smile. It was the perfect start to her day off. No responsibilities, no one to answer to, just a pair of preserved toes waiting to be admired. She bit into her buttery pancakes, savoring the moment, until the sound of a car door slamming outside made her pause mid-chew. Parting the rear window blinds with her fingers, she spotted Sergeant Ham's cruiser parked at the curb. Beside it stood Deputy Porkchop and her coworker Stacy, who looked distraught, though probably for an entirely different reason than the last time she'd seen her. Weird Joanna stayed perfectly still as heavy footsteps approached her door. Then, 2 knocks, 1 for each toe. In February of 2024, 2 dogs were surrendered to an animal shelter in Victoria, Australia, after their owner died of natural causes. While at the facility, the dogs vomited up 2 human toes, which staff quickly disposed of in the general waste bin. Joanna Kathleen Kinman, a 48-year-old shelter worker, remained behind to lock up after a distressed coworker left early. Seizing the opportunity, she searched through the trash, retrieved the toes, and took them home, where she preserved them in a jar of formaldehyde. The next day, she called her daughter, saying she had researched selling them online and believed she could make $400. Police arrived at her home following an anonymous tip. When questioned, Kinman pointed to a glass shelf where the toes were, quote, suspended in a clear liquid, among her other oddities, including an alligator claw, a bird's skull, a guinea pig's feet, and her children's baby teeth. Investigators also found she was an active member of Bone Buddies Australia, a Facebook group dedicated to trading human and animal remains. She had previously used the group to sell a stillborn kitten and puppy as wet specimens. Kinman was charged with offensive conduct involving human remains and faced a potential 2-year prison sentence. She pleaded guilty in March of 2024 and was sentenced to 18-month community corrections order, including 150 hours of unpaid community service. Magistrate Andrew Sim, who described the crime as, quote, astounding and entirely odd, told Kinman, by the barest of possible margins, you will not be going to jail today. Kinman, who lost her job and was publicly shamed online, declined to comment outside the court. This is one of those crimes I never expected to cover, but the world is full of surprises. Every time I think, this has to be the weirdest one, the universe takes it as a challenge. Dogs are incredible companions, and as unsettling as this is, it's probably more common than we talk about. Morbid? Sure, but I think it's important to normalize the actual normal parts of life. If I end up as Mabel's midnight snack one day, at least I'll have done my part for the circle of life. So whether you own a dog or just admire them from afar, take a moment to pet a dog, smile at a dog, or at least ask a dog how it's holding up. There are a lot of good boys and girls out there helping people through all kinds of things. Public outings, the transition into death, the second Trump presidency. Whatever burdens the dog in your life is carrying, remind them they're loved. And please, don't be a fucking weirdo about it.
First of all, the uplifting guitar at the beginning and the end. I cannot with you.
That's so weird. I just realized, I have so much to say about the story.
Yeah.
But this is like one of the first and few times we ever talk about something where you're talking about it as a whole presentation.
Right. We've never been like, oh, the music, because it's not done yet.
Yeah.
We're doing it
You
before.
only react to the story itself.
Yeah. But the way that you made it so like, and then it's like, dead toe vomit, bleh. And then it's like, I simply cannot even take that.
It has been one of my favorite things, parodying like just what I hear in other podcasts with the dramatic music and the crime stuff. And it's like, it doesn't always have to be just like bum bum, like a knife sound. You can just change up the flavor, put a little happy acoustic and vomit sounds. And you can have a dramatic, fun story about dogs.
How did I forget about this story? That is probably one of the most bizarre characters you've ever made me play.
It's so funny. I wondered the same thing. You must have had something going on at this time, because when you were on Wine and Crime and they were talking to you about it, it took you a minute to realize that you knew it. And then you still didn't have that much to add. And I'm just like, You're acting like you haven't heard this story before. So I don't know what was going on during that time.
I know. I feel like that is beyond memorable and beyond bizarre. And I barely even remember doing all those lines. It's so weird how the brain works and what we remember.
Yeah, it's incredible. That's like, to me, that felt like a whole new thing. I mean, I didn't go back and listen to this. I remember what the story was about. I forgot that the theme of the story was dogs. I don't even remember that. And then the whole Mabel thing at the end, I forgot.
Oh.
That was not on purpose, but kind of beautiful, I suppose. This is
know.
Mabel's year, I suppose. So her last year.
It really was. I know. I was just thinking that exact same thing. I was like, I'm sure he didn't remember that he talked that much about her, but I'm actually kind of glad that even though it was a really dark, creepy story, that she got featured one last time on this recap. So
yeah,
one
last time.
Maybe not last, but you know what I mean, like another time.
Yeah, for sure. That was unexpected. And honestly, the reason why I was thinking about this one is I was thinking about the one where the dude had the Florida man chop his feet off.
Yeah,
I thought that was in 2025. That one was in 2024.
Oh.
And I think the reason why my brain went there is I associate these two stories very closely together because they're both very gross. And I wrote both of those with the intention of being gross.
Yeah.
Because I was like, fuck it. If I have to tell a gross story, that's just going to be part of the theme of the story. I might as well lean into it.
Absolutely.
So I made it super gross in the same way that I did with that guy and having the hacking sounds and the feet falling. I was like, how many times do I get to use a severed limb?
Right.
Not very often.
Not very often. That's for sure. Not on this show.
And a lot of people complain sometimes if it's like, I think we had a bad review once where someone's like, puking sound effects just turn me off, 1 star. And it's like, okay, I try to use them sparingly unless I have a good joke or the story actually calls for it.
This one you had to.
This one I said it's fair game and it's time to get nasty. And also I just really wanted to call out how weird this lady was. Like, but I'm saying like she was digging her hand through a trash can of Band-Aids and shit.
Poop bags.
Like, yeah, she's nasty. And I remember, I think you said that you were inspired by Ursula when you did that character.
Yes. Because she has like her little weird collections of the weird, like, shrunken snail
little
people.
Dude people,
and
yeah.
she's like, oh.
Maybe that's where I came up with the idea of having this woman kind of just like...
Yeah.
This was also a challenge of that story for me as well, was I didn't just have one main character. It kind of followed the dogs mainly, because once the dogs get handed off, the cops aren't the main character. Now Weird Joanna's the main character. And I kind of thought of it as like those Disney movies or like a James Bond movie where it's like, now you're in my lair and I'm just going to be like very comfortable as if I'm in my own home.
She's like, poor unfortunate souls.
Exactly.
Poor unfortunate toes, should I say. Yeah, that is just the most bizarre story. And also, side note, I gave 0 fucks that my cop character was a male. I was just a full female in that character. What was I thinking?
Sometimes you're a little more... Sometimes when you're the smaller guy of a man group, I think you just let yourself be you.
I know. I love being a feminine man, I guess.
I mean, that's like the voice you use when you were almost Justin Timberlake, really.
Right.
We were like, wait, don't be too much of a man now. Yeah, this story just felt, to me, going back and listening to it again, well, one, I really liked my writing. It was a fun challenge for me to have the point of view change with the dogs, having an actual dead body.
Yeah.
And do that without being disrespectful or weird or anything. I mean, the story was super bizarre, but it's also just one of those things where it was like a bingo. So many things hit at the right time because I also got the chance to write a character for you to be ridiculous in.
Totally.
And that's always something that's like, what are my favorite ones? Ones where I make Amanda do something. Usually you have a silly monologue of some sort in my favorite stories.
The phone call with the daughter.
That's so funny too, because I haven't listened to the story in so long.
Yeah.
I thought, why did I write this? This is so stupid. Like, I wrote all this thing and she's just going to wake up and I'm going to make a big deal about her calling her daughter. And then I remembered, oh yeah, that's the true story.
Yeah, that was the real detail.
And same thing with Bone Buddies. I thought Bone Buddies is a stupid ass name. Did I write that? And then I was like, oh no, that was the name of the actual Facebook group.
Yep.
That's one of the fun things. It's just like, I didn't make that up. Like, that's stupid and real. And
some shit you can't make up. It's from real life and it's shocking. And wow. I'm glad you chose this one. Obviously, I get grossed out really easily. And this one is a grossy one, but there's a lot to it. And I was cackling. You were like the friend, the background friend, and you're like, who do I take? I mean, I was dying from all of our characters. That was a really good listen.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was fun listening to again. And, I listen to that and I think, God, why aren't we more bigger than this? Like, I know. Like, that sounds really weird to say. And then maybe you guys think I sound like I'm sounding full of myself. It's like, I put a lot of work into that. And I listen back, I'm like, no, that still makes me laugh. And I had to listen to that for like 12 hours.
I know. And I wouldn't say you are a particular person that like loves listening to themselves back on repeat. I mean, most people aren't. And the fact that we can still laugh all this time later, that really is a big deal.
Yeah, like in the phone call, when even my own voice, when I said, oh, that's great, like about the toast thing, it's like, that's exactly how I imagined that would have went. And that is still funny to me. So I don't know. I guess maybe you guys are just seeing me still liking what I made, and I guess that's good for an artist. But
it is good. I'd say that's a great sign.
Still sad that millions of people don't.
There's still hope. There's still hope one day.
2026?
Maybe after we're long gone, they're going to be doing like an archaeological dig, and they're going to find our podcast in the rock, and they're going to...
I'll be like Shakespeare. Ugh.
Oh my God, Trevin. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this. We have part 2 coming out next week. We have a bunch more fun categories that were voted on, and we get to listen to my personal favorite story of the year. So just remember, no matter the crime, big or small, in the end, we're all doomed.
Doomed to have a good 2026. Hopefully, please, guys.
Please. Bye.
See ya.
If you want to vote on next year's Petties, come on over to Patreon and cast your votes.
And if you want us to maybe talk about an encounter we had together on the show, talk to us on any of our socials: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, or Threads. Live, Laugh, Larceny.
And there's still time to submit your petty crime stories for the year of 2026. Send us your stories to livelaughlarceny@gmail.com.
And I know I just talked about it. You know we're a 5-star show. Why don't you go over wherever you rate podcasts and give us our due? Rate our podcast wherever you rate podcasts: Apple, Spotify, or Good Pods.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.